Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to our channel. My name is Becc. I am a professional mindset coach, a medical doctor, and the founder of the most incredible group coaching program, Dare Darling. In Dare Darling, I take successful women to being overwhelmed, from being overwhelmed and unsure to unshakable. And you're like, what? Why successful women? Why would they be overwhelmed and unsure? It feels like oxymoronic, but successful women have often been strongly conditioned in this high achiever and people pleaser mindsets. You become successful as per society. You know, it's really a societal label that we put on people, successful women. You become successful by ticking those boxes of a high achiever and a people pleaser. You know, you've achieved the things that we recognize are important as a society. And you've met the expectations of other people. You've kept other people liking you, finding you agreeable and acceptable and approve worthy of. It's definitely not the right way to proper English, but we're rolling with it. You get what I mean. However, these external foci of what's important and what we should do and how that affects our compass does actually ironically make us quite unsure and overwhelmed, because instead of getting the answers from ourselves, we get the answers about what we should do with our time, with our energy, with our resources from other people's expectation, whether it be from greater society's expectations, their unspoken expectations of what a good person is, what the right thing to do is, what makes you successful. All these expectations from our closer community circles, from our colleagues, from our closer families, and from our most immediate families. As much as they might love us and mean well, everyone has expectations themselves of how things should be. And we can easily by default hold ourselves to the standard of falling in line with others' expectations. So all of this creates a lot of mindsets that we actually need to unlearn in order to get to the place of being unshakable. Being unshakable requires us to be grounded in something that matters to us, in what matters to us. And so grounded that we're not moved by those external forces that try and push and pull us. And that's actually what I want to talk about today. Some of the elements of what it means and what it looks like to be unshakable, with unshakable being the result that I can offer you from mindset coaching. Because there are those two elements that we work on. One is grounding yourself in something that matters to you, in what matters to you, in what's important to you. And then there's building the skill set, the power within yourself to not be swayed from that position that you've taken. Now, first, if you're interested more in this result of what it means to be unshakable, what it looks like to be unshakable, and what Dare Darling, our group coaching membership, can actually offer you, then I've linked down below, I've got just a one-pager manifesto of what we are collectively aiming for with Dare Darling. It's this one-page collection of beliefs and behaviors that show up for us when we are unshakable, and all of our decisions and all of the mindsets that we're trying to develop through Dare Darling are orientating us towards developing this manifesto, making this manifesto come to life and be blatantly obvious to anybody else looking into our life that we are unshakable and that we have these beliefs. And it might be really clarifying for you even just to read what some of these beliefs are and use that to measure yourself and see, where do I actually sit in terms of how much I believe intellectually and can see that I embody this belief and therefore it shows up in my behavior. Where am I in terms of being unshakable, and therefore where's my work? Where do I want to do more work for myself so that I can be unshakable in what's important to me? And I want to talk about two simple but commonly challenging beliefs within that manifesto that I want you to use as a mirror for yourself today. I want you to ask yourself how much you believe and embody and act out, behave out in your day-to-day life at the moment, these two grounded beliefs of somebody who's unshakable. The first one is, my time is valuable. The second one is, my energy is valuable. What do those two beliefs bring up for you as I say them? How true do they feel to you? And if somebody was looking in to your life, watching your behaviors, how you showed up in your day-to-day life, how you made decisions, what you said yes to and no to in your life, how you rested, how you worked, how you planned, is it obvious to somebody that you value your time and you value your energy? It is incredibly important work to bring up all these fears that we have when it comes to people pleasing, for example. Oh, if I say no to them, then they won't like me and I'll stop getting opportunities, and they'll think I'm selfish and they won't include me, da da da. Or setting boundaries, for example. If I draw this line here and say I'm not getting involved beyond this point, I'm protecting this time for myself. I'm protecting my energy in this instance for myself. And then, the fears are, they're not going to think I'm a team player. They're going to think I'm lazy. They're not going to help me in the future when I need help, when I want help. Looking at these fears as a part of the coaching process is really important. But that's only one half of what we need to do. The other half is creating a positive, desire-based drive for deciding what we're going to do. Because I always use both of these things. I look at my fears and I work out the fears that aren't true to me, or that aren't fears that I want to change my behavior as a result of. Because when I don't look at the fears and I just feel the fear in my body, it's very easy for me to think, something's going very wrong. That's a real thing I need to be afraid of, and then to change my path because of that. And also, the other side of the work is, why do I want to hold this boundary? Why do I want to be honest and not people please in this scenario? And some of the most powerful work I've done has been on creating such big desire in those areas that it actually overrides the fear. These two things are always working in this balance, this contrast. And it's whichever one is stronger will determine how we feel and how we act. If your fear is so much stronger than the desire, it becomes irrelevant. And if your desire is so much stronger, then the fears become more irrelevant. It's all relative. And some of the most powerful beliefs that I've developed in my life that have helped me in desire, that can overcome these fears and then apply it across my life, are these beliefs that my time is valuable and my energy is valuable. When I am so clear on that, when I feel that in my body to be true, the fears feel tiny. The fears, the consequences of what other people think or what other people do or whatever the fears are, they pale in comparison to, if I don't protect this time, if I don't protect this energy, then this time and energy is not going to get to pour into what matters to me, what fills me up, what makes me feel proud of myself, what makes me like myself. That has become principally important. And this takes time. As a high achiever and a people pleaser, you spend your life externalizing this authority, letting other people decide what's important. And then you just fall in line and you deliver your time and your energy to those things that they've decided upon. And then from that, you expect that you will feel good because you'll be able to say, yes, I did the right thing. Yes, I did the good thing. But if you don't have any opposing force to these fears, then how do you expect to motivate yourself to allow those risks and consequences for yourself to be exposed to those risks and consequences when there's no clear payoff, when there's no clear win for you doing that? When you understand that your time and energy is valuable, when you can see the value that you can create with your time and energy when it's treated well, it will make it so much easier to accept those risks happily. For example, in one of my recent jobs in the hospital, my boss said, hey, can you write and present this presentation that we're doing? And I just, without a beat, said, no, I can't do that. There was not even a fear response in me in that time. There was not a question of people pleasing and consequences and that didn't even arise in me, because what was more dominant was, I need to protect my time right now. I'm working in the hospital, and I'm working in my business where I make a massive difference, where I have all these gorgeous, incredible clients, all these high potential people, and this group, this gorgeous Dare Darling group. I have so much value that I can create with my time, and putting my time and my energy into this extra other project that does not align with my values would be taking from that other mission. And it was such an obvious, easy no. I want you to have very obvious, easy no's in your life. I want for it to be a no-brainer to say no to people, for it to be a no-brainer for you to risk being disliked by people, or potentially disappointing or upsetting people because their expectations are out of line or over the top, or even if they're reasonable expectations. But as long as you know that you're making the right decisions with your time and energy, you like your decisions about where you put your time and energy, those fears can just fall away. So, if you do not hold the beliefs, my time is valuable and my energy is valuable, I need you to do that work. Guys, why are you here? Why are you alive? I'm sorry to take this so existential, but how can you live your life not believing fully that your time is valuable and that your energy is valuable? Do you want to live your life just giving away your time and energy willy-nilly, letting your, funny phrase, letting your time and energy just slip away to whatever everybody else wants and expects and desires from your time? Or do you want to be the person who's holding control of your time and deciding what results your time and energy actually gets poured into and creates? If you do not wholeheartedly believe, 10 out of 10, my time is valuable, my energy is valuable, I want you to start working on those beliefs. At the top of 2 pages, write, my time is valuable, my energy is valuable, and then write why. And if you need help with this question, if you need help exploring and expanding on and feeling and then showing up in these beliefs, then you need to join us in Dare Darling, where we do this work that ultimately makes you unshakable. All right, my beautiful friends, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like if it was helpful for you. Subscribe if you're not already. I put out videos every single week, and I will see you guys next week.